Well, hello everyone again. Welcome to Flying with Mike. This time we're in Bogotá, Colombia, and we are getting ready to fly over to a airport. Couple of names to it. Hang on, I'll get you a couple of them. Antonio Nariño, Pasto, Colombia. Goes by a lot of names. It's a 7,100-foot runway at 59, call it 6,000 feet above sea level. Does have a tricky approach a little bit. You're in the ridges and all canyons, working your way to the runway in a turn. You're basically, if you've flown Nashville, John Wayne, you know your RNAVs usually come in. You make that big turn in for the runway several miles out. Not here. You're about a mile, 2 miles out making that turn. Kind of like Reagan, where you got to turn just a couple of degrees to the left and get lined up. Here, you got to almost do 180. Except we're not flying that today. It looks like the weather. Well, the weather is just not going to cooperate with us in that direction. So I believe we may get an ILS. Whoa, wait a minute. Why is the weather saying something different? Huh. Interesting. Now it's favoring the, well, we'll see. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, we have the A319 Aviation colors for Colombia, headed down that way. Currently, no ATC online. That could change. You never know. But I'm glad to have you all aboard. Great flight ahead. We just had a great flight. Be watching for that to release here in the next few hours over on YouTube. Palma de Mallorca, Spain, the island off the coast of Spain, up to what a busy Frankfurt. At the end of it, if you hang long enough, you're going to see how VATSIM can sometimes mirror the real airport. The only bad thing is everyone was shoved down towards the runways because, we don't like long taxis. That's what cracks me up about flight simming. And hardly anybody up to the east end of the airport to taxi. Who knows about these flight simmers, I'm just teasing. But anyway, we're the only one here. So I don't know, man. That traffic, rush hour traffic could be a little rough here. So now, oh wait, we do have somebody here. Where are they? Hang on, let's pan out. Let's see. Looks like a little GA aircraft over there. But anyway, welcome. 514 Romeo Sierra. So hope you're heading our way. If not, hey, enjoy your flight. Let's get in here. We got a couple things I noticed we need to do. Mainly with our squawk. We'll keep 2000. We'll get our radar set that I didn't do earlier. Now, we are not broadcasting the radar. So if this was real world, we would not be radiating anyone in front or around the plane. We are still off or in standby where it won't radiate. Okay, so for today's little excursion, let's bring Sim Toolkit in here real quick, and then we're going to get going on this. We are, as you could tell, on VATSIM. All right, there's our little route right on down here. Ease on down the road. All right, 31,500 pounds of payload. It's going to put about, I think we put 14,000, maybe 200 in the tanks. Basically, the alternate is if we can't make it in, we come back to Bogotá. 143 peeps, as mentioned. We're taking off runway 14 right, landing 20. Now, if you get runway 2, That's when you kind of fly. This is a little way out of the way, but let me see if I can zoom in here. But basically, it's either this ridge line. I think it's this. You fly down and you make the turn in. Don't quote me on that, but that's the gist of it. So, and then you turn for the runway. Like I said, nearly 180 degrees in about 1.5 miles too. All right, we're going to top out at 23,000 on this 280-mile adventure. And like I said, currently planning runway 20, and I believe it's an ILS. Don't quote me on that. We'll do that here in a second. All right, weather. Here in Bogotá, thunder showers in the area. That's why the ramp looks wet. 160 at 11 for the wind. It is variable. Again, unlimited visibility, thunderstorms, and a few clouds at 3, a scattered layer at 5,000, and just, you know, it says VCH, thunder showers. No significance. That just cracks me up. But it's south, I guess. That's why it's to the south. Now, if it was to the north, then it would be significant. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Some of these weather forecasts on the METARs kind of crack me up. As you can tell, 110 at 11, gust 23, and broken layer at 6,000 to contend with into Nariño. Narnia is where we're headed, if you didn't know that. Those of you that followed that book series. All right. Beautiful weather, though. We are again on VATSIM already. Let's just go ahead, zoom out a little bit. And like I said, we do have traffic here already. So we're going to get into it ourselves since we've done our pre-brief. Let's get into it. Where is my... All right, so for our preliminary checks, we've already turned the fuel pumps off. Batteries 1 and 2 are on. External power on. And let's do our cockpit voice recorder test. APU fire test. And while we're at it, let's do engine 1, engine 2, and cargo smoke. Perfect. Everything's working good up there. Light check. Looks good up top. Middle. Looks good. Down below. Passed. Okay, we got our emergency lights on. Bottom row of lights off. Strobes on auto. And we'll run on number 1 for nav logo. APU, we have been fueled. So we'll just wait on the message here. We'll clear off that what it's telling us. We'll get the APU fired up and check a couple more things. Basically, we're waiting on flap open. There it is. And I like to make sure it's going to fire up. There it goes. And let's begin. So we got spoilers down, not armed. You'd know they're armed. There's a white ribbon under there. Flaps 0. Showing 0. Right there. Okay. Where are we on the flap? Okay, so almost there. We're at 95%. There's the available. There's 100. Okay, probe heat's in the proper auto position. And bleed air is now on. Let's cool the cabin and the cockpit. All right, and finally moving on, we'll leave the seatbelts off for now so the people can get situated, but then we'll turn it on. Emergency lights. Pack flow is going high for the load and the altitude we're flying out of. Engine fire checks and comms are set. All right, time for the McDo's. Oop, what did I do? Come on, hit the right button there, Captain. Okay, we're up to date. Go to the init request. You can do this if you're tied with your ToLiss interactive software to SimBrief. Each aircraft you have to do that on. By that I mean each, like the A319, the A320neo, A321 CO, and neo. Each one of those you have to tie. Actually, I think you can get away with one on the 321. But anyway, once you tie it to it, read the manual because there are a couple of extra steps and you decide how you want it. That's why we've stopped showing it. Okay, now we're going to bring in charts. Stand 13 we're in, so we need to be 42, I'm sorry, north 4, 42, 0, Z. Why are you, oh, I know why. You gotta first do this. It always helps to be aligning your IRS. Not tune up the IRS. That's a whole different subject we'll stay away from. We're just aligning. Okay. Now we can go, there we go, 42.0 west 74.8 decimal 6, right? 8.6, yes. All right, and once you're satisfied, 04 42.0 04 42.0 west, I hate when I do that, 74.08 decimal 6. Cool. Align. Then do your wind. Return. Click. Check everything looks good. Page 2. All right, now we're going to head over here, verify, which I did not do earlier. Shame, shame, shame. Hopefully the plane will pass. All right, we're scheduled 121.519. Okay, that looks good. Wow, we actually hit the number. Wow, that usually does not happen. And 13.916 or 66. So 28.6. Boy, that's all good. Okay, we're gonna go with it. Okay, flight plans next. And this is where the fun begins. All right, so let's clear that off. So we're taking off from Bogotá. Vapo 4 Romeo OREGA transition. Runway of departure 14 right. Give you an idea, we're going to be taking off. So basically we got a taxi all the way here. They wouldn't give us 14 left, of course. 14 right. And we said the Vapo. For Romeo. Click. OREGA. And insert. Okay. All right, now let's look at that real quick. Before. What the? Okay, these are opposite direction. Um, all right, I am hanging on here. What the heck? Our charts don't match up. Okay, I am thoroughly confused. That's why I do this, so I can be... Okay, hang on. 90. I don't get this. Why aren't we on this one? SQA. See, this is why I check. 527. Papum. OREGA. I don't get it, but hey, we'll take it. Flights. I always wonder if there's like a page 2 that we're not seeing. the other way, because it does say multiple runways when you go to it. Okay, so we won't use that chart. Instead, that chart is what we'll use. See what I mean? This is the Vapor 4R the other way, and it doesn't bring that up immediately. That's my one thing that it irks me a lot. All right, sorry for all the time there. Then we're on to Money Conco PPN. MER, and then we have our approach. All right, now we're going to plan 2-0. Reason being the weather still showing variable. We're going to go ahead shoot it because I got a feeling. Let me see the TAF. No TAFs. 20Z. Yeah, it's close. Okay, well, we'll run with it and hope for the best. 2-0, 1 available. Okay, that's not going to happen. Approaches. Let's see what we have. A localizer and an RNAV. Now, let me show you the RNAV for runway 2. You come off MER and you head out to PS 410. See how you do this tight turn? When you come out of it at 412, you're 1.5 miles from final. We are going to shoot the localizer unless things really drastically change. So we're just going to head, catch the localizer, come on in. It is an RNAV, so we'll see how it works out. But then you fly it back to get to MER to hold. You reverse what you would have done coming in runway 2. All right, so what we'll do is click here, here, localizer, and any vias, MER. How'd that do? Looks good. Insert. All right, so from MER, all right, that all looks good. Oh, wait. Didn't I select it? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. All right, so that's the game plan as it stands at the moment. Things could change. All right, next up, RadNav, in case we got a bolt back, there's the ILS 14 right, I believe it is. Perf, head over here, do that real quick. All right, well, all right, 170, 15 degrees. Does that sound anywhere remote to what we are right now? 27 minutes ago, 17 F14. Broken 6,000 now. Oh, this is SKBO, sorry. Oh, that's right. Hey, we got a degree. Altimeter, we'll go ahead, just put it in 30, 33. Takeoff weight. Good enough. Flex. Oh, plenty of runway. Air conditioning on. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll call it wet. Okay, we'll flex flaps 2, and we look good. And what we'll do is V1, we'll set it 121, 131, 133, and the rest will stand. Okay, so over to here, uplink. One. Okay, we're getting our takeoff data sent into the McDo. Maybe sometime today, anytime. There we go. I screwed up. Hang on a second. Yep, I screwed it up. And 133. Transition level's good. I don't know if our friend Blackbox has any information here or not. Should have known. 1-4 left and right, 9360. And 11,000. 1-4 right, 1050. Oh, 500. All right. And all that does is make minor corrections to fuel flows and all of that in the aircraft. We are ready to go. Okay, let's get into center here. One, 2, 7. All right, and okay. Armed, and 23,000. Okay. Anti-skid, nose wheel steering looks good. Switching levers, 12 o'clock. All we got's the main cabin door open. Let's set flight plan here. Clear. And we're ready to go. How's that? Let's do it. After we start ACARS. All right, we're just waiting for it to detect our flight and auto start. All right, we are ready to go. Everything lined up, ready to go.
Bogotá traffic, Copa 931 is taxiing to runway 14 left for departure. Sorry, 14 right for departure, actually. I will be taxiing Charlie, Mike, Kilo, all the way to runway, holding point Kilo 1414 right. Bogotá.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, Tau is driving up.
Some doors are still opened or the GPU or the ASU are still connected. I'm waiting for all of them closed and disconnected, then I will proceed.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
All right, here we go.
Tau connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Break off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, I see the at least one, maybe two taxiing for the same runway, so we'll see how that all works out. There's available. Let's get the second one up and running.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set. All right, after start
Selecting tow.
standing by.
Standby.
All right, I don't want to do much with surfaces on the aircraft because in the real world there would be people potentially walking around them, so we'll wait till we see the tug with pins. Hey, Tupic, Abby, welcome in. No, we are flying the A319 from ToLiss. I think the last time I flew on this airport, Pasto, sorry, was with the A320neo.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, thanks for the pushback. Those curious flying X-plane, you really should have better pushback.
Mexico 332 radio check.
It is a free utility, and it's actually updatable. And I haven't checked here of late, but yeah, they actually update it from time to time. There's the pins. So it really is, and this is nothing compared to what it can do. So it is really an amazing pushback, hence the name better. All right, speaking of which, let's get to work again. Arm up those spoilers. Flaps 2. Okay, ignition mode to normal for now. We'll take off under, since we're at high altitude, using, what's the word? Engine start. Ignition start. All right,
Good,
up.
brother, no worries.
Pitch trim coming down for that. What are we, 0.0? So hang on. Okay. Okay, doors are armed. All right. Timers running. Brake check. Flight controls checked. FMA looks good once we go max. Just need the signs on. I guess people are partying too much back there. All right, we're ready for taxi. Yeah, Bogotá traffic. Vonk 50 taxi to 14 right.
Bogotá traffic UPS 354 On localizer runway 14 left.
Okay, we got a low oil temp, so hopefully by the time we get to the runway, they'll be warmed up enough. Okay, final checks, transponder, Terra, radar on.
Bogotá traffic, Copa 931 lining up, taking off runway 14 right. We'll be departing by the VATSIM 4 uniform at Vassal transition, then as filed for runway 14 right. Bogotá.
Bogotá traffic, Air Mexico 332 lining up and waiting, runway 14 right.
Bogotá traffic, UBS 354, short final runway 14 left.
Okay, now it's just a nice long taxi to the top end there here on hotel. And there's UPS on final.
Bogotá traffic, Air Mexico 332 taking off runway 14 right for the VATSIM 4 uniform departure.
All right, cabin's ready. Brake temperatures are good. Engine mode is set. And we'll get our other lights as we need them. Flight attendants, take your seats for departure. This is a fun approach, especially if they're landing towards from the south to the north, because it's all RNAV approaches. And you're turning on this side of a mountain around the city for the runways. Now, granted, you'll have about 2-3 miles to line up, but it's still always fun. So.
What the traffic from Y1 for left located.
The only sucky thing here is the long taxi. I wish we could have got 1-4 left. Oh well. I've landed on 3-2 right doing that RNAV. It's a little tricky, especially when you got clouds and it's hard to find that runway to line up on, and man, you hit it, and it's, I mean, if you do it right, you're right on it, and or just a slight wiggle and you're on the center line. So it's a, like I said, it's a fun place. A lot of the approaches down here are like that. And then you have these, which have your nice 8, 9, 10 miles straight in. So check it out. Give this one a try if you're into challenges. It won't let you down, especially if you do the RNAV. I don't think I've ever shot the localizer here. I've always gotten the RNAV around runway 2. What are we on? The VATSIM? Yeah, VATSIM for arrival or departure. Bogotá traffic, Ivanka 50, departing 14 right, VATSIM for departure.
Over the traffic, UPS 254 taxiing to position Echo 10 via Alpha Papa Kilo and Juliet.
$80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive right, gears up. We'll let the autopilot take it from here. Ivanka 50, clear of Bogotá area. And looks like we have a thunderstorm cell just to the south of our route. Or we got some kind of rain right here south. All right, for this departure, we got to remain under 205 till after BO 908. And then I think we'll get kicked in here for climb.
Republic 7281 on 59 left, runway 14 right, Dorado traffic.
Let's get an idea. Ooh, look at these clouds. Nice. All right, we're on our way. All right, so I hope y'all are enjoying. It was a wild ride into Frankfurt. Whew. I think it's been a long time since I've seen that much traffic in one spot. I mean, granted, a few weeks ago we flew in on a Friday to Frankfurt. It had a lot of people there. Not like today. Wow. My only critique, I couldn't get tower to confirm cleared to land. Now, technically, when that happens, that's a go around. But not having full faith in the A339 yet, there's some things about it that I'm kind of on the fence about with that plane. A lot of it I just flat out love. But some of what they put into it, I have a lot of. I wish there was a way to make it more like these, in that you just click for the instead of having to push pull. Oh gosh, because sometimes it just sometimes won't, and that kind of irritates me. But we had a phenomenal flight from Palma de Mallorca all the way up. Great ATC down south there in the island. All the way in, and Frankfurt, for the most part, great stuff. I can't really complain other than that where I wish they would have not all of a sudden tower disappear for whatever reason, and not let us know and make sure we know we're cleared to land. You know, beyond that, it was phenomenal. Great job, controllers, all of you. Sorry I was a little off and little missing of this and that, but there was a lot of traffic, but that's no defense. So now we're doing the Bogotá to Pasto run, and currently looking at flying in the localizer, which will be the first time we've done that. So I don't know. Do we go up now? All right, we're going to override. I think we can. Okay, with such a short amount of time, let's get some alcohol sold back there, make Ivanka a little bit of money, and then we'll set up for our descent. Okay, I think we're good. We're climbing. That's all that matters. We'll top out and go. I did not see anything in the chart holding us. Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, well. All the way to OREGA. That looks cool. Looking good. All right, let me get in here and start figuring it out. 127 miles. All right, so we'll be descending to 12,000. So that's about 10 miles. So about 30, call it 40 miles from Murr, we'll begin that descent. So enjoy the flight. All right, we're in the clouds. All right. Well, at least the weather radar is not saying anything, but as we punch out, but boy, we are like riding on top of them. Looking nasty out there, just simply nasty as we finally come over the top of this one. All right, let's do this a little earlier than when we did it. On the last flight, boy, we got well into top of descent before we talked about this. Oh, and our winds are currently back in our favor again. Good deal we didn't change. Or we'd have to change again. 1019. Temperature 22. Wind 2906. All right, decision height. Betting it's going to be a little high. Wow, 1,000 feet. All right, we'll try that. All right, approach speed's going to be 131, landing at 126. Now let's go ahead and plug these numbers in on the landing perf. All right, so let's do a reset, see if it'll bite. Nope. All right, so we're 290. Would we say 6? 22. And we'll keep it at that, so it's 3009. Keep the anti-ice to engine, yes. And yay. Okay, we'll go dry and medium brakes. Come on. Okay, not much we can do about that. So we're going to only have about 1,400 feet to the end if we land it right. And go team. All right, I hate when I do that and accidentally kick out one of my boxes on OBS. All right, so we're en route. And we're at the equal time point, which is good. That means if anything happens, now our decision making is, do we go back or do we continue on? And we'll kind of play that one out by ear. But you're in the Andes Mountains right now. They get into the teens, high teens, maybe 20s. The highest commercial airport, not international, was it international? Is here in South America, El Alto, 13,000 feet above sea level. Now, there are a couple of others higher, but I don't think it was international or commercial, one of the two, that they reached this level. And that is impressive. The fact that not only is there an airport at 13,000 feet, that there's 100,000+ people living at that altitude. For those not familiar with aviation, I was always taught above 12,000, the pilot goes on, well, needs the ability to go on oxygen in a non-pressurized aircraft. And should be on oxygen in a non-pressurized, I should say. Pressurized should be able to. There, I think I got it right. I know, y'all will write and say, nope, you got it wrong, Captain. Okay, well, you know, it's been since the 80s since I flew a plane, so a lot of memory. So, yeah, that's just impressive to me. Let's see what we got going on real quick while we got a few minutes. Again, coming into this airport, those just tuning in, Sierra Kilo Papa Sierra. If you fly the RNAV for runway 2, it is a little bit on the, oh my goodness. Here, let me bring charts up real quick while we got a couple seconds. Okay, I'm going to go to the charts here. Okay, first off, there's our weather, current weather, 20 minutes old, 2906. So we'll proceed localizer for 20. All right, let's go to the approaches. And here we go. So here's your approach if you're going to fly this RNAV. I can already hear pilots go, oh, it's a piece of cake. Okay, good. Fly it. Then you're going to find out that when you roll out at PS 412, hopefully, I say that, hopefully, make sure you are no faster than that. And follow the speeds and mandated altitudes. And remember, the word max does not mean that's what you fly at. You can fly at approach speed, gear down, flaps full, and I highly recommend that till you get used to it. Because when you roll out at PS 412, you're a mile and a half off the runway. Oh, by the way, if you're off, there's a mountain not far off to your south. That's why you're hooking in tight. It's fun. It's tricky. I'm not going to say super challenging or anything like that. It is challenge, but it is a tricky approach. But the whole key to it that I have found, and I had to kind of wiggle in that mile and a half to get on the center line to land, is one, hit those altitudes, two, be slower than those max speeds. So like right now, we could fly 131. I recommend it. And that'll help you make that turn and then begin looking for that runway, because you may be able to line up a little better, a little quicker, and stay on track than relying on that RNAV. But if you're in those things called clouds, granted, your minimums raise up to, actually, they're much lower than our localizer, 342 feet. So if the base of those clouds are 400 or better, get the idea? You start here at 8,000 feet MSL. You got a 9,000 foot runway or mountain, 75, 7,100 foot just to one side. So yeah, hit those mountain speeds and descents. PS 11 be at 8,800 feet. Where's 411? 8,800 feet. And then start down 3.2 degrees. And you'll hit it. I mean, I hit it the second or third time I've flown it. It was pretty awesome. So Today's flight, though, is this one. Not much challenge to it, except that, yeah, we have some mountains to deal with. Gonna come over Mercedes at 12,000 feet. 14.7 out will be 9,000. And 9.7 will be 9,000. And then we descend on a localizer. We should, in our case, see the runway. Top of descent coming up. Let's see where we are. Okay, as we cross PPN, we'll start that descent. Hopefully I didn't cough in your ears. My bad. All right, let's get down here. We've got our arrival put in. We've got our information put in. Let's get over here, throw our winds in. Okay. What else do we need? Arrivals, performance is set. Flight plan winds are in 20 miles before top of descent. They recommend we start before. We can actually do that. 12,000. And into the abyss we go. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't know if I did. I just did what I did not expect to do. I must have minimized. I thought I hit X. Please tell me I didn't start a second one. Good. All right, I hit wrong information as we begin our descent to 12,000. So, how was everybody's work week? I hope it went well. If you're watching us on YouTube, yeah, I know. How do you get a hold of our live stream schedule? Unfortunately, it's very tough for me to put one out at this time. Just know that Fridays and Mondays for sure, Not this Monday. We will be probably delayed a little, but around 11 a.m. Central U.S. time is when we try to get things going with at least one flight, if not two. Last Monday, we did 3 flights. And wow, that was just a trip, that flight. That whole day was just phenomenal. Today is phenomenal. Just we just don't have ATC this time. So just plan that. And if I try on Saturdays, if we're going to do something Sunday, to post it early. And I try to put it on the Twitch schedule. But please just realize with the way I work right now, Monday we can do. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are just, and Saturdays can be just really tough to get on. Coming home sore, tired from work, and we try our best. All right, this is looking a little rough, so let's get some speed brakes in. Now, the last time we were here at Pasto, Nariño, we got a couple good chuckles. There was a tree right in the middle of the flight line. And it was not an add-on. That was default. So we'll see how that worked out. $10.19. All right, we need to get the speed brakes back down. Okay, we are beginning our run. I'm actually going to go ahead and kick on the landing lights. And for that matter, the strobes. All right. 23 miles from the runway. Weather says broken at 6. We'll see how that'll be pretty close. Field elevation is, that's about 100 feet. Actually, that's about 300 feet, so I think we're okay. Oh, what the heck? Let's see what happens. I'll be dang, we have glide slope. $130. Think that might actually be the runway. Nariño traffic, Vanka, 50, approximately 12 miles out on the localizer for runway 20. Okay, flaps full. Gears down, spoilers armed, lights on, and brakes are for medium. Okay. Straight ahead is our airport.
2,500. 2,000.
Thought we had them armed. Okay. All right. So, not sure where we're getting a glide slope on this, but we'll take it. Now, you would be off a little bit further than what you think here, flying that approach to come around the other side. But you see that mountain on the other side? That's what prevents you from getting further out for an easier approach. And I stand corrected. That white spot, I thought, no, the runway's right here. Got it in sight.
100 above.
Landing.
2,500. Minimum 2,000. 2,000.
And again, stable landing.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100. Terrain. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Oh yeah, did I mention there's a slope here? All right, let's taxi in. That was not a bad landing. I'm sure it probably knocked me into 500s. No trees this time. I already kind of knew that. Okay, and the EPU's available. Oh, I got to get the beacon off. All right, now we can watch outside. All right, welcome into Nariño. Now, yeah, you would be flying up there and coming around the backside of this hill for the runway. And there isn't much room to wiggle out here. So I'm going to see if we get our what we were intended. Bear with me a second. All right, we got the aircraft taken care of now. I didn't hear the music, but it says it filed. Let's take a look. And the aircraft got... Okay, that is not what I was intending. There we go. A 125 feet a minute. So all I need is just a short runway. How about that? Anyway, that is Nariño. And again, if you want the challenge, do the RNAV for runway 2 and you would have a great time. Real quick, let's look at our other trackers. I don't think I started it. No, I didn't. So it won't be on Elevatech, but it will be on Sim Toolkit. Nice, 102 feet a minute. That makes me feel so nice. Ha! He really can fly on occasion. All right, so SKBO to SKPS, 102 feet a minute. We'll view the details. Was an hour flight, 274 miles, 2,200 kilograms of fuel. And we still hit the runway at 1.4 Gs, but at 102 feet a minute. I got a feeling that was a bounce, and we were fast. That's not good. And we landed 1,000 feet down the runway, 1 foot off the center line. That's all good. Good pitch, good roll. I mean, overall, the numbers are good. And the parking area looks like this, which is what we've got in front of us. Overall, a really good flight. And I hope you all enjoyed it, because I sure did. This was fun. All right. So once again, I'm going to put the call out to Twitch. Hang tight. I'm going to do the music so we can get the YouTube video out in a couple of hours or days. And then we'll fire up a third flight. We're planning Indianapolis to Appleton, Wisconsin. If you're not familiar with Appleton, Wisconsin, look for Oshkosh. It's just north. So for now, give me about 4 minutes, Twitchers, and then we'll begin setting that flight up. Again, great time flying this one out, and hope you all enjoyed. YouTubers, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you so much for the fun we had on this. We'll see you on the next flight.